So we're going to talk about efficacy or success. And we're only going to talk about one strategy that I want to introduce you to, and it's a strategy for effective goal setting known as WOOP. So the WOOP process, WOOP is an acronym that stands for wish, outcome, obstacle, and plan. And the WOOP process is a scientifically based goal setting process that gets us away from magical thinking. One of the first things that you want students to do in the WOOP process is to imagine in as much detail as possible, and sometimes you could use a guided imagery kind of process for this. You want students to close their eyes and really picture, really visualize what they are wishing for, and you want them to also completely imagine what the outcome would be for them. How would their life be different if they were to get their wish, whatever that may be? But unlike wishful thinking, immediately after that imagining of that wish and that detailed, incredibly detailed outcome, they need to also imagine the very specific obstacles that they will have to overcome in order to achieve their goal. Success comes from identification of the obstacles and from the development of, or the delivery of, or the creation of, the design of a specific plan for overcoming those obstacles. It does not come from wishful thinking. So, WOOP is a fantastic process. There is a little website with an app that you can download to your phone. It's called WOOP My Life, and the app will actually walk you through the process of setting WOOP goals for yourself. And the goals for your students might be, you might have one that's connected somehow to achievement. They suggest 3 categories. One is connected to achievement or some kind of a learning goal. In our case, it might be. The other is connected to relationships, the improvement of relationships. And there's one that's connected to health. I don't actually know anyone who doesn't want to lose 5 pounds right now. So the health one is relevant to virtually anyone. So achievement, relationships, and then health-oriented are kind of the general categories that they suggest. But I want you to go onto the website and try this out for yourself. Take a look at how these stems, they give you sentence stems and how those stems work, and give WOOP a try. I think that you'll find it to be highly effective. I'd like you to consider making this simple routine pervasive practice in your classrooms. Students need to do this on a really regular basis. So every Monday, imagine you're sitting down to do a 10-minute goal setting session with students where you give them silent time to actually really imagine what it is they want to accomplish. I like them thinking about weekly goals as being short-term and narrower. So these are small wins. An example might be a student who's had a particularly negative relationship with, say, a coach or a PE teacher, decides that they want to improve that relationship. And they think about the obstacles. I've been kind of a crummy student in his class. I haven't been really particularly respectful maybe in the way that I'm interacting. I want to change the nature of that relationship. The student could set a goal like that, and that would be a goal that they could actually achieve by the end of a given week. So short-term goals and small wins, but also long-term goals. I want to graduate from high school with a plan for going to college. I want to graduate from high school with a plan for going to college and all the skills necessary to go and be a successful college graduate. So you can have goals that vary quite widely in terms of the scope, but small wins are very, very good. And changing something as simple as the way in which you participate, or the kind of attention you give, or the kind of effort that you put forward in a class, those are great small goals that can actually be accomplished. So go forward and try out WOOP. Another thing to look at besides WOOP My Life, please go to Angela Duckworth's Character Lab website, and there is an entire protocol for doing WOOP in a paper pencil format that actually gives you all of the information and a short informational video that you can share with students as well. So this is something you can directly teach, and this is a life skill.